Hello. So in 2016, it was proven that the Earth is flat. And so that leaves a lot of you wondering, what does it actually look like? So I'm going to show you. As a shaman, I can connect in and see from the eye and see what it actually looks like. So I was surprised to take a look and found this is what I found. So here's this little part is what we think of as Earth. This is not an accurate depiction. It's just a rough artistic depiction to show you what's going on. So this little part here is flat. Here's the sun. Here's the moon. They're really close, really small. They rotate around us, or above us, I should say, to be accurate. So all this black stuff out here, what people think is space, is not space. It's actually just water. It's a huge ocean. So there's really nothing here but a big ocean. It's all water. There's no space. It's all water. What this is a big electrical current that flows through the water. This is the current of God, the fire of God. This flows through the water and creates. Where this electrical current flows at certain intervals along its paths, it'll spiral in a golden mean ratio and pop a bubble open. And where you spiral energy in a golden mean ratio, you create awareness and you create consciousness. So here you have the spiral and you pop open this bubble in the water. You have a high electrical charge state. Now you have a gas bubble in the water, this big ocean. It's all really just electricity. This isn't what it actually looks like. When you actually look at it, there's nothing here but electricity, and it's just a big toroid. The part that we think of as physical reality is actually in the imagination of this electrical plasma. So you have the big current of God. When it spirals just right, it pops open an implosion, and that creates awareness. So you literally have a plasma being here. Earth realm is what you would consider a being. And so, it keeps going. There's more entities and bigger entities up here. What this is depicting here is a section of the firmament. So there's a bubble of gas in the water, highly charged electrical gas flowing in a toroid sacred geometry that creates a fractal of infinite awareness. And this firmament that separates the gas side from the water side of the big ocean. This green dots, these are the stars that we see. So what happens is this huge current comes, and first it gets met by the planets. These are actually just big gas, more big gas bubbles in the water from a highly charged state being produced. And they're beings too. And these are structuring this energy. All these beings come here to structure this energy and create that implosion so that this can exist. So here you can see that the planets are small. They orbit directly above Earth realm. there's two separate orbits, and those just spin above us, structuring this energy, conditioning it in the first phase. And then, so this is a major part of structuring our reality. The stars that we see in the firmament are actually beings. There's no suns out there in space. There's no space. You have to forget about that idea. There's a big ocean. And what we see as stars are beings in the water, more plasma entities that have showed up, and they all spin with the currents. And they're all chained together, structuring our reality, structuring that current as it hits us to help structure the reality. And if you look at with a telescope, you'll see there's no suns out there. You can see the planets, but you won't see any suns or anything like that. You'll see a lot of weird beings, and you'll see a lot of plasma entities, and you'll see them plain as day. You can even see them with the bare eye. You can see that there's beings up there, just charged plasma balls spinning, and you'll see them twinkling and changing colors and winking at you. So what we got here is the ice ring. So this is the North Pole. This green stuff, that's the aurora. It's a phenomenon that occurs from this toroid point and the implosion point in the center of it. So anywhere you go south from the North Pole, which is the vortex, so anywhere you go away from the vortex, magnetically, you're technically going south. And anytime you go far enough south, you'll hit this ice ring. And there's literally a big ice ring, just like Game of Thrones, around us. This separates us from other sections of the realm. And so no one's allowed to go to Antarctica. Every country in the world has unanimously agreed that no one's allowed, it's illegal to explore Antarctica. And that's because it's a big ice wall, no matter where you go. And people have actually explored past it, and there is things beyond it. It's really, you cross into another dimension, pretty much, which is still part of Earth realm, but it's more ethereal out here, so it's a different environment energetically. And humans can't just waltz out there and live out there. They're not allowed. Some have been allowed to visit for a little bit, but they're not allowed to stay there because it's different energetically, and our bodies don't really jive with those conditions. So there's continents out here past the ice wall, and there's old maps and stuff. This isn't accurate. This just goes to show you the way I picture there being like almost like sub-entities of Earth realm. Like if you consider Earth realm a big entity, there's also this entity and possibly sub-entities of it that make it up. And this is just kind of a rough depiction of them. So, there's the Aryan civilizations out here and stuff like that the Nazis traded technology with, and just like in this vortex of the North Pole, you can go in there, and there's literally another dimension in there where there's a much finer realm, much finer version of Earth realm in there, and you have to be even more energetically tuned to be able to get in there. You have to be able to create bliss, and you have to be able to harmonize with this great wave to a great extent. Otherwise, you can't enter. So UFOs and things can come from here. When people think of galaxies, a lot of people have just bought into propaganda, and there's no such thing as galaxies. So if you're communicating with some sort of galactic federation or whatever, that's weird, because there's no galaxies. There's just water, and there's the oceans, and there's no big central sun out. We're not in a big galaxy with a big central sun that we orbit around. The whole idea of the Earth orbiting the sun, and then that being a microcosm of a galaxy that orbits a big sun. That doesn't happen. So when people are getting higher communications from beings that are really working with God, they come through this wave. When you can make your energy make an L, you can pop into this wave. And that's how I can see what I can see. So you can travel through this wave. You don't really travel, but you can get into it, and you can pop out anywhere else you want to. And the whole universe is connected that way through these electric currents. So there's beings that travel through here. You can travel through here. So the higher beings you want to communicate with will come through here, and they don't use metal. Metal is known as a destructive. So the good guys don't come in metal ships. Some of these advanced races out here are good guys, and they still use technology, and they still use ships. But to be the really spiritual, advanced kind of teachers and stuff, if you are claiming to be really advanced and you're using a ship, it's not true. Show you what that actually looks like. Energy comes in from God. This is already pre-structured in its own manner. This energy comes in cycles. When you think of a galactic cycle, this energy has its own cycles as it comes, and this changes dramatically. So as this energy changes, it actually can change the way the planets are structured. They've changed the way that they orbit above us. And according to this energy, they do change their routine, and it's not set as we know it. And it's changed before in human history. And as this energy intensifies, it can fossilize. That's how fossils have happened. We now know that doesn't happen over time. It happens instantaneously as huge electrical events have happened. And all through Earth's history, mankind's recorded weird plasma discharge events from the planets. As this energy has changed cycles, it gets really dramatic sometimes. Sometimes it puts on really beautiful displays. People thought there was gods in the sky because it was putting on a really beautiful display through the planets. And then at other times it was terrifying. It really lightning was striking off the planets, hitting the Earth, as this was just way too intense, and it cooked and destroyed. And as this changes, the ratio of gas to water can change dramatically, and just completely flood out entire areas of lands very easily if it needs to clean itself or whatever, just by changing oxygen to hydrogen, etc. electrically. You can pop state just like that. So that's one reason to show you, is because this energy is going to pick up. It's already picking up, and it's changing its nature. And so you have to learn how to flow with it and change with it. You need to know what you're doing here, and you're not on the planet. And you have to be able to work with these energies. You need to know these are beings. These are beings. These are beings. And you have to learn to work with all of them if you want to survive, because the realm is going to be very highly harmonized, and anything else that doesn't want to play that way will get cleaned off. And this is happening really quick. So you have to learn how to flow with the energies, learn what's going on, learn that there's nothing actually here but electricity. This is all just a big toroid. What we see is in the imagination of it. This helps the electricity structure its energy in a way that's fractal, in a way that's infinite, so that energy can not only sustain charge and electrically, but it can pick up charge. And so if we don't flow with the cycles, these are great beings. They bow to these beings, they bow to these beings, and we bow to these beings. And this is all a big chain of command, a hierarchy that we have to learn to flow with and work with. And we're not, we don't have liberty to dispute some of the things that are going to be expressed through this. And if we want to work against it, it just has a way of just burning things off. So that's really going to start affecting people. If you can perceive the way energy flows this way, it'll help you a lot. It'll explain a lot of why what's happening is happening. And that's pretty much it.